I'm predicting right now that Puss in Boots: The Last Wish is going to steal the Oscar right underneath all of the other great animated films that have come out this year. Puss in Boots: The Last Wish came out a couple weeks ago, December 21st, 2022, and it was opening up right next to Avatar, which is still making a killing in the box office. It also opened up the same week that Winter Storm Elliott was passing through the US, and some more COVID-related things were happening worldwide. So expectations for the movie hitting its goal for the box office were very slim. However, the movie did so well in terms of telling a great story that word of mouth has been spreading, and it's actually growing week over week. So here are my 3 reasons why I think Puss in Boots: The Last Wish is going to win Best Animated Feature Film of the Year. My first reason: it added a new spin on the popular animation style that we saw from Into the Spider-Verse, the Oscar winner, and Mitchell's vs. the Machines. 2. Generally, expectations were low for this movie going in, however, reception has been incredibly high. And 3. The movie is blowing up at the box office right now. So going into my first point, Puss in Boots saw how well the animation style of Spider-Verse and Mitchell's vs. the Machines and The Bad Guys was with audiences. And they thought that it would be a really great idea to try and emulate that style, but they had someone to thank for that. Nate Ragg, who's a production designer with DreamWorks, actually made the suggestion to give it this different spin. And the spin was to make it almost like a storybook animation style. So when you're reading a kid's book, it always has this fairy-like type of look to it, and they wanted to emulate that in 3D. But then also add that spin of having the lines on the screen and different sound effects popping up, or having that gritty, real, paper-like feel while you're watching the movie, even though it's a 3D animated film. If you don't know who Nate Ragg is, he's worked on movies like Toy Story 3, Captain Underpants, and The Croods: A New Age. And this is his newest work that he helped work on, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. I personally love this animation style. I think a lot of other people also love it. Mitchell's vs. the Machines, like I said, performed incredibly high on Netflix. Into the Spider-Verse literally won Best Animated Feature Film a few years ago. And The Bad Guys, which I haven't seen yet, but I know has a lot of high praise, it has an 88% fresh on Rotten Tomatoes and a 93% audience score with over 2,500 ratings. So I definitely need to check it out, but I know that it's supposed to be a really great movie, and it also has that same storybook type feel to it when you're watching it. Let's go on to my second point, which is the movie had generally low expectations until people started to watch it, and then the reception was great. There's a couple notable reviewers that I want to quote here. So IGN's Raphael Mottenmeyer gave the movie a 9 out of 10. And he wrote, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish mixes stunning animation with a poignant, surprisingly mature story to deliver the Shrek franchise's answer to Logan we didn't know we needed. Christy Lemire of Roger Ebert says, the film also manages to convey messages of selflessness and teamwork in a way that doesn't feel heavy-handed or cloying, and the stellar voice performances and dazzling visuals keep things so engaging you won't need a laser pointer or a catnip stuffed mouse to entertain you. And Peter DeBruge of Variety gave the film a positive review, saying the film was DreamWorks Animation's best film since How to Train Your Dragon. There's a bunch of other great reviews from a bunch of other really prominent reviewing websites and notable names, but I think you get my point. The movie also has a 95% fresh on Rotten Tomatoes and a 93% audience score with over 1,000 verified ratings. But as you guys know, I really like going on Letterboxd because I think you get more of an honest opinion from the audience, and out of 5 stars, it has a 4.2. That is so high. Almost all the reviews are in 4 or higher, and this is with over 40,000 ratings. Something that a lot of the reviewers are mentioning, a lot of the ratings are attributing the success to, is how the movie handles heavy subjects, but not in a heavy-handed way. They're not spoon-feeding you the answers to things. They're just tackling these subjects that you typically wouldn't see in a kid's movie in a very respectful and touching way that would strike a chord with anyone. And moving on to my last point, like I mentioned at the beginning, the movie is blowing up in the box office. So like I said, it opened on December 21st, 2022. It went on to only make about $12.4 million on its opening weekend when it was projected to make about $25 to $30 million. But even though they opened below projections, they weren't too worried because the response was so high from everyone. And it actually went on to grow 35% of its revenue from its first weekend to its second weekend. Now, if you don't know, typically movies will drop 40% from its first weekend to its second weekend. So let's say it makes $10 million on its opening weekend, it's projected to make about $6 million on its second weekend. But this movie actually went on to make 35% more than its opening weekend. And now worldwide, it's grossed over $140 million, which is way higher than they were expecting it to be at this point, and way higher than anyone could have projected because of the word of mouth that got out. If I had to guess, I'd say it's going to keep growing, and it's going to keep getting watched by so many people because of how great the movie is and how rewatchable it is. Once the movie ended, I just wanted to sit there and watch it again. My favorite part of the movie is Puss in Boots. He carries the movie, and Antonio Banderas does a great job as the character and plays really well with the supporting cast, who's Salma Hayek playing the other cat Softpaws, and the dog that's accompanying them, played by Harvey Guillen. The trio does a great job driving the movie forward, making everyone laugh, and also adding to the story. I also really like how the movie has these other groups of characters who are trying to get the MacGuffin in the movie, which is this map that's going to lead them to a star, which can give them any wish they desire. They have Florence Pugh, Olivia Colman, Ray Winstone, John Mulaney, and quite a few others that are a part of the cast. It's a really fun time and a really great story to watch unfold on the screen, and I recommend everyone to go watch it in theaters if you get the chance. And to end my review, I always like to go on Letterboxd, so join me here. Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, and I think after listening to me ramble on about the movie, you can guess what I'm going to give it. 5 out of 5. Like I said, it has an average of 4.2 with over 40,000 reviews. It's definitely a great movie. It's going to win Best Animated Feature, I'm sure of it. Even though I love Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, and I love the claymation style that they did with it, and how long they took to really make that story something special, I think Puss in Boots just tells a new story in a very creative way that we haven't seen yet. So let me know what you guys think about the movie, if you've seen it, and if you haven't, what are you doing? Go to the theater right now and come back and let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Bye.